All right. I know exactly how I'm doing my anecdote. You just gave me an idea.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let's fucking go.
All right.
Or sorry, to quote Nico Heischer.
Yeah.
That was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Allie. Allie, how are you?
I am very, very tired.
I know.
You were asleep on the floor earlier.
What's happening? What's going on?
I am just like the type of person who has a bit of a wacky schedule. Much like Taylor Swift, I am always on the go. And much like Taylor Swift, I think jet lag and sleep deprivation are a choice. That's not true,
Okay.
but that's something she said at the Super Bowl.
Interesting. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, Travis Kelce asked her like, "How are you not jet lagged or like sleep deprived or something like that right now?" And she goes, "It's a choice."
Okay.
'Cause she had flown all the way there. Yeah. Point is, if I just ignore all of my body's cues and do whatever I want anyway,
Correct.
I can power through.
Sickness be gone.
Sickness be gone. So, in particular this week, I'm feeling a little tired because I've been working a lot of night shift. And that gets my brain all sorts of confused because I still try to do normal things during the day.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is, sometimes I start to think that I'm, like tasting sounds and hearing colors. You know what I'm saying? When you're
Yeah.
really sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
You know,
It's usually when I have my best thoughts. Like the best.
Honestly, yeah.
It's also when you start to like see the best things,
That's
Uh-huh.
true.
but you're not really sure if they're happening or not.
Okay.
So I had like
I'm scared.
an experience like that earlier this week.
Okay.
I worked a really long night shift, and afterwards I was like, I can't drive home. There's gonna be traffic. I'm too tired. I need to go like chug some coffee. JK, I don't drink coffee. I'm an espresso drink girl.
Caffeine is
Caffeine.
needed.
Caffeine. I like
Needed.
cappuccino or mocha.
Yeah.
I don't really know the difference. I just know that
Coffee in concentrated sugar forms.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, okay. Anyway, I have like a favorite coffee shop that I like to go to after I work night shifts, and I sit down. I'm sweaty as I always am after working.
Running around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my hair looked cute because I do this thing at work where I tie my hair up in a silk scarf. This has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just, this is like my coworkers know that I am at night in my hair in a silk scarf doing my skincare in the hospital to keep myself from going insane.
Yeah. This is just the fun facts segment. Like this is what we need here.
you're setting the setting of my
Exactly.
life.
You can never
Anyway.
skip those routines ever.
I was desperately sleep deprived, sitting in my favorite coffee shop, filling out some very important work forms that I was supposed to fill out before, and I was on a hit list for not filling them out.
Oops.
Oops. And
It's fine.
I was doing my best, okay? I'm filling these forms out. I'm working on my iPad. I swipe away because I got a new email. I go to read that email and I go back to the form I'm supposed to be filling out. It's a very important form. And it's blank. It's like a 7-page form. I was on the last line. I just had to sign my name and it was blank.
I would be crying.
yeah.
I was angry. I was so mad. I put my hands down on the table. Like I didn't want to smack the table, but I was like, put my hands down. I was like gritting my teeth and I looked up glaring. And right as I did, someone walks in the door to the coffee shop and we make eye contact. And I swear you're going to think I'm joking or sleep deprived.
Uh-huh.
But it was Timo Meyer.
Stop it.
Could it have been a hallucination?
Maybe, but
Yes. Was I full on glaring at him?
also yes.
Did he immediately look away? You walk into this coffee shop and there's just some like sleep deprived person in the corner glaring up at you from their iPad. I would leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I felt like I had cast the evil eye upon him. I was
How dare you?
How could you do that to her?
not intentionally.
She's been trying to protect him.
It has. I actually don't know. It's been okay.
Yeah.
We're like in a balance right now.
Right.
Don't push it over the edge, Allie, with your stink eye. Leave Timo Meyer alone.
I feel so bad. I'm like, unless I was sleep deprivation hallucinating, pretty sure I gave Timo Meyer the stink eye in the coffee shop the other day. And then for a brief moment afterwards, I was like, that's like actually Timo Meyer. I should say hi to him. And I'm like, no, girl, you just glared at him. He thinks you hate him now. This is a very weird behavior.
You're making good impressions on all of the players in these interactions.
Fantastic.
I'm the queen of first impressions.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to episode 7. Point is, I'm tired, but never too tired to do my favorite thing with my favorite girls and record our favorite podcast.
Because this is Hot Girls Hockey, born in Jersey, our weekly opinions on the Devils. No facts, because we analyze by vibes. Allie, what is our red carpet report of this week?
Shannon, Sarah,
I'm so excited.
this
Yes.
is the red carpet report I have been waiting all season for.
It is.
Quite frankly, we can retire the segment after this moment. This is the peak. It will
honestly,
never. This is what we've been
this is the
building up
best.
for.
You say this now. We don't know.
We don't know.
When I conceived of this segment, when we were first throwing out ideas for this podcast, this was literally the event that I had in mind.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do this segment every week. This might be like only something I could do during the Stadium Series and then never do it again. But here it is. We finally had the Jersey Devils Flyers Stadium Series game, and we got to see the arrival outfits.
We did.
The costumes. Before we get into what New Jersey wore, what do you think the Flyers wore, being from Philadelphia?
I know the answer, so I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
Well, who else is going to say?
But-
It's only the three of us.
Hey,
Oh,
Alfred.
I thought you meant you really wanted me to like guess.
Oh.
Like I didn't know.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
But I can't because I know.
Well, the guess is... Okay.
What else is there about Philadelphia?
It's Rocky. They came dressed as Rocky. Obviously.
Yeah, they had to.
And you know what?
All right.
They sold it. They had like the matching actual like gray sweatsuits. I didn't include a picture in here because we're not giving them credit.
No. And
But-
it was all the same thing anyway. It was all literally the exact same outfit.
Right.
If you've seen Rocky, which great movie,
Sure.
it has a great ice skating scene, by the way. One of the, sidetrack. My favorite type of like movie
I haven't seen the
romantic scenes. You need to watch the movie. Rocky is such a good movie. My favorite type of like romance scenes in movies are like ones that are like awkwardly cute. And there's this scene in Rocky where Rocky and Adrian go on an ice skating date, but it's Thanksgiving and all the rinks are closed and they have to like bribe the Zamboni driver to let them on the rink.
Okay.
And they're like skating and neither of them really know how to skate. And they're both just like so awkward trying to, it's cute. It's adorable. I'm obsessed with it.
Well, I believe you.
It's a great movie. We'll watch Rocky, Shannon.
No, don't make me.
It's so good. So yeah, the Flyers, they came just as Rocky. That makes sense.
It does.
Respect it. I respect it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They committed. Okay. I mean, that's their version of Elvis. Nothing's going to beat Vegas showing up all in Elvis wigs.
It
But
fully won't.
they went for it. The Devils, they did exactly what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah, you did predict this.
But you know what? I'll give it to them. They sold it. They committed.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
It was the entire crew showed up in tracksuits as the Sopranos, naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I think is especially hilarious about this, that at first I didn't like, but now that I think about it, I think it adds to the vibe, is that these are not coordinated jumpsuits. They are all Fila jumpsuits.
Oh.
But they're all different. Most teams, if they show up in like a matching costume.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone's Elvis.
Yes.
Everyone's Rocky. Everyone's in the fisherman jumpsuit.
Yep.
Everyone's in like the oil rig jumpsuit, right?
Oh.
And they're usually in the exact same one. These guys, every single New Jersey Devil player had to log on to Fila.com and type in tracksuit, hit add to cart,
Oh my
and
gosh.
purchase, because none of these are the same.
No.
You know what? They said this in the last Change podcast. Apparently, Nico bought these for everybody.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's so Nico had to log into
Nico did this. Yeah.
Fila.com.
And he like assigned who was wearing what.
Stop, that's so cute.
I don't know. Maybe he did. I don't know. I'm making that up.
This
That's
makes
so-
sense.
Okay, because honestly,
Because that's why everyone's wearing what they're wearing.
I really thought like Siegenthaler and Bastion and Marino just like went on the website
I don't
and
know.
picked the on sale suit. suit.
Supposedly, this is what I'm hearing.
That's so cute.
I don't know.
Well, if that's true, that's amazing.
I'm just gonna pretend that's true. Is Nico's different? No, Nico matched Nico and I think Eric Hall. No, Nico and Alec Ho. Oh, no,
Is
What
that
there's so many
Brendan
different
Smith
versions.
is
Brendan
wearing the
Smith.
same one.
And
Think
who's the
Nico
guy
Heischer and
at
Nico
the
Dawes
end?
are wearing the same one. They're also committed. They have the white tank tops underneath, the
Yes.
gold chains.
I was going to say, we got to talk about some of these accessories because clearly some people brought what they already had.
I think so.
Shannon, tell me about these accessories.
Okay, so we got Arikala in what I want one day, a matching set with a Doberman I don't own yet, but this
Yes.
beautiful large gold chain and just sunglasses galore. Also really appreciate how Timo and a couple of the other guys like wore the sunglasses in their shirt. Fantastic. And we got another visible gold chain, couple silver crosses. Just fantastic. Actually, I'm sorry. I take this back because the photo I just had to zoom in, it looks like every player just about does have some form of necklace on.
Yeah, I think they all
Yeah.
have a gold chain. Some of them are also wearing crosses, but like I think that's like Nico's regular necklace that he's wearing. I don't think that's like,
so too.
but it matches the vibe.
It's fantastic.
I'm most enamored by Timo and Brat's pinky rings.
Yeah.
It really sells it for me.
That's so funny.
Ugh. When I saw Timo in this outfit specifically, I was like, if Allie doesn't make him, we didn't get to it, best. I know it's the whole team, but like he just nailed it. But the guy who looks the most natural in this tracksuit is the photo at the top. But I don't want to spoil it.
So there are multiple photos I could have picked that I didn't put here. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's pick who we think the best out of the
Okay.
entire team was.
Okay.
I didn't include this photo, but there's one photo of Nico Heischer walking in with like the jacket
Yes.
unzipped and his hair
I know
slicked
what you
back,
mean.
and I'm like, this is
I
Sopranos
see
vibe.
it. Yeah.
Yes. I saw that.
I kind of think it looked almost uncannily natural.
Especially with the scar on his face too. It just
Yes, it did.
worked.
Just perfect.
He kind of sold it.
Honestly, yeah.
I'm giving him best dressed. And if he bought the outfits for everyone else,
I think he also deserves it for that too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Once again, who would have thought? Nico Heischer, best dressed of the week. You win the red carpet report. That's totally never happened on this show before.
No, never.
I just have to give props to Arikala.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He just looks the most natural in this. Like if he just showed up in this, I would believe it outside of
If
the
he
stadium
showed
series.
up in this, you wouldn't let your children within like a 5-foot radius of
yeah,
him. Like
no.
you wouldn't open your door.
Like
to
that is
this
a
man.
sketchy guy there.
That is a sketchy guy.
We giving him second?
Yeah, I
All
say
right.
we give him second.
All right.
Yeah. That leads us to our worst dressed of the
Oh.
week.
Curious.
So
I'm also curious.
the Devils were not the only teams
Okay.
to play
Oh,
that weekend.
They were not.
We had the Rangers versus the Islanders. I'm not going to show you pictures of what the Islanders showed up in.
No, there's no need.
because it was just regular suits. They did not dress up.
Just plain old
Wait,
game day suits.
really?
Yes.
There was no theme announced
was no
with it.
theme.
Nothing.
Wow.
I'm glad that this was your worst dress because this is what I was going to say for the
Yeah.
worst one because that's so pathetic.
Like,
That's so sad. I
That's
feel bad for
disappointing.
Islanders fans.
apparently it was like I don't know. I don't know.
It feels like a weird punishment. Like, why can't they have fun?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I think I overheard someone saying this is so Islanders. The joke that they didn't do it, but I didn't understand it
Like,
and disagree.
they could dress
Yeah.
up as Long Island iced teas.
Honestly, like, sorry, like you
Anything.
guys don't have culture there. I don't know. I've never been to Long Island.
shots at Long
I've never been to
Yeah,
Long
yeah,
Island.
Dress like your culture, Long Island. Dress like the traffic on the parkway.
Yeah.
The only missed opportunity for the Devils is the fact that no one dressed up as Tony Soprano himself. And our friend who was at the game with us, who's obsessed with The Sopranos, knows nothing about hockey, but obsessed with The Sopranos, turns to me and goes, which one's the captain? And I was like, it's Nico. And she goes, he should be in a bathrobe. I was like, what?
Oh my gosh.
I disagree because I think Nico rocked his outfit, but I think Lindy Ruff
Yes.
Oh, God.
Should have committed to the
been dressed
bathrobe.
as bathrobe Tony Soprano.
No thanks.
with a
I don't
cigar.
need it. Also, he doesn't know how to have fun.
I think it would have. I think it would have like worked right though.
I know.
Yeah. So that's our red carpet report. Jersey Devils coming out on top.
All right, Sarah, what is our weekly update?
All right, guys. So currently, we are still in 4th in the Metropolitan Division.
It's been a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
You know, I don't believe that.
I know. It's
That's
kind of
crazy.
interesting. But in more important news, we are still 3rd in the wild card race, but our margin has increased a little bit there, unfortunately. We are 5 points out from a wild card spot.
Who's ahead of them? Do you know if
That's
February?
a lot.
It's Detroit and Tampa ahead of us. And we're playing Tampa tomorrow
on the second half of a back to
on the
back.
second half of a back-to-back.
That ain't happening.
So
that ain't happening.
we need those points. Are we going to get those points?
Nope. Listen, I am an eternal optimist, but sometimes you got to read the writing on the wall.
I don't think they're getting those points.
I don't know. Maybe.
Shannon will be cautiously optimistic. I can't even say it.
Cautiously
I can't even say it
optimistic.
fake wrong.
Cautiously.
She will be cautiously optimistic for us.
Well, there was a lot that happened between last time we recorded. We've ended up on a little bit of a wonky schedule.
We sure have.
And you know what? It's just kind of going to be like that to the end of the season. I think we just got to write it out.
We're just making it work.
Yeah, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
The episodes. There's 5 games. Some of these don't really need to be talked about in depth,
No.
but way back.
Way back what?
I just like throw your mind way back to yonder days of
Yesteryear.
last week, the week before. I
Sure.
don't know.
Never mind. Last week. Okay.
And remember that the Devils played the LA Kings at some point.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yep.
The only things you need to know about this game against the LA Kings is that the Devils lost.
Yep.
It was a little bit embarrassing.
It was at least close to score when I looked at it. It was 2-1.
Yes, but that I think has more to do with Nico Dawes like just really holding down the fort. This was like
Okay.
the start of Nico Dawes' stretch
Okay.
of not being allowed to rest.
Oh no.
At some point during this week, they did put VTech on injured reserve.
Yeah.
Retroactive to like beginning of February.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow.
yeah. So we're gonna have Dawes for a little bit.
Okay.
The only thing I really have to say about this LA Kings game is that Jack Hughes needs a Xanax or 12. He was in a state that night. In
Aw.
his defense, he had like he had a rough go of it, and the refs were not really calling penalties.
Yeah. That happens, but
And he got pissed off at one point, and this is the infamous night
oh yes.
where the lip readers of Twitter, shout out to Twitter Mutual MJ, the lip readers of Twitter, can't speak. Whatever. It appeared that Jack Hughes said, "People pay to watch me play,"
Oh my gosh. When you sent this to
which he's
us,
not wrong.
I mean,
No.
yeah. But
I died.
my dude.
Do not scream that in the middle of the game
In context,
because you're angry.
it did make sense though, because he
Oh,
was
okay.
saying like, I don't remember exactly what he was saying to
Yeah.
I don't remember which Kings player it was, but he was like, "Are you something?" It was something to the effect of like, "Are you here to play, or are you just here to hurt people? People pay to watch me play. Like, stop trying to hurt me. People aren't paying to watch me get hurt. They pay to watch me play."
Okay, in context, this makes
It does actually make
way
more
more sense.
This is all based off of Twitter lip reading, though. So
Yeah.
who knows what he actually said? He could have been talking about the moon.
I don't know. Yeah.
For all we know,
Yes.
we don't really know.
I love it though.
Infamous. It will go down in history.
I think this is
Mhm.
hilarious.
I love it.
Devils poetry this season.
Truly.
Luke Hughes, fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Jack Hughes, Jack Hughes, people pay to watch me play. Then we get to the Stadium Series game.
That is true.
Oh, yes.
This was the game that we were really waiting for all season. I was so freaking excited.
I was so happy to be there.
I was so
I
glad
made it
to
just
come
on
back
time.
and have this to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got there pretty early at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be so much time to like wander around and say hi to everyone. And I've been to MetLife before. You would think I would know better. It was packed.
Yeah.
They said like more than 70,000 people showed up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was with part of the stadium blocked off for the Jonas Brothers concert.
Wow.
We had a great time. Shannon, you
We
didn't
did.
get to join us until later, but Sarah and I were living our best lives,
I saw.
making fools of ourselves
That
at
we
the
were.
Brat Pack tailgate. I just like know for a damn fact that I said and did multiple embarrassing things.
It's okay. I have a lot of those multiple embarrassing things on video.
Yeah.
A teaser of what's to come.
That's true. That is true because we did film all of those cringy, embarrassing moments of ourselves.
And if you check out our YouTube and Twitter, you can watch that video. The only thing I remember was just how freaking cold it
It was
was.
so cold.
I changed into ski clothes in the car
Yeah.
before we went into the stadium.
That was a good idea.
And then they put on the screen what the temperature was. And I was like, my guy,
Do not show us that.
don't tell
No.
me the number.
We don't need to know.
Let me live in delusion.
I was impressed. The pom poms we had were doing some great insulation for my hands.
That was freakishly
Honestly,
weird. Those,
it was.
cheap
Putting it on your
little-
lap somehow worked as a blanket. It was great.
Shannon,
All right. So I made it just in time for the national anthem. And I'm not really online, so I didn't know fully what to expect going into this. And the first thing I really want to talk with you guys before getting into the game was what the flip was the park theme. Like, it just, I understood it, but the execution just felt really lacking.
It was weird.
So the whole idea is that like old, like classic hockey is like you're playing on an outdoor rink in like a public park with your friends.
Yeah.
Oh,
But the weird thing was the
that is not what I got.
NPCs running around with their
Yes!
fake babies in strollers and
Okay.
pretending to sell
Dogs and the
croissants or
hula
whatever.
hoops.
I spent we'll get to this, but I spent the entirety of the second period hiding in one of the indoor lounges
Yeah.
because I'm weak.
Yeah.
And the glass windows that like look out on the
Yeah.
field were looking right next to where those Sims characters were coming out of. And so I could see them coming out with their little like plastic babies in their strollers and their hula hoops.
Oh my
and
gosh.
not wearing
So
gloves.
funny.
One of the dogs that the dog walkers had
Yeah.
a little limp. He
Oh,
was like
no.
one little leg didn't work and he was like limping along.
Huh.
He looked very happy. He like
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he just had like a bum leg.
Aw.
Yeah. What I really want to say about the park theme is like, okay, now that you told me, now that I understand, hire me. I love decorating.
You do.
Like,
You are
we
so good
need-
at it.
I needed like
A Statue
flower
of Liberty.
packs. Oh,
We went different ways with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
like sorry, not packs, but like patches. I just
Yes.
needed more park, more benches, more lights, more green, more, as I say more, they probably didn't have the money and paid all the Sims to sell it on this park idea, but I would have brought in a lot more props.
It was, they said, apparently inspired by Liberty State Park in Jersey City, which
okay.
is a lovely park and does actually look kind of similar because it is like a big, wide open green expanse
Yeah.
with then the bay, I guess, in the middle where like Statue of Liberty is.
Should have had a Sim on a picnic blanket with a picnic basket. Just saying. Hire me.
Hire her.
Okay. So moving past the park theme, I was very distracted by it in the beginning of the game, but it's okay because Nico immediately brought me in 32 seconds into this game. Nico scores and this is the first time I could say this was not a omen, but it was setting the tone
Yes.
for the rest of this game because it was on a beautiful, beautiful breakaway. And Toffoli just followed him up at the end of the second with a goal, making it 0-2. And I'm like, all right. For
Yeah.
people who don't know,
End of the first,
anytime-
I think.
Yeah, end of the first. Sorry. At the end of the first, it was 0-2.
Yeah.
And every time we have attended a game together and have gone to a Flyers game, the score always ends with Devils up 7.
Yes.
And I was like, all right, we're going
for
into
7.
this. We're getting 7. So top of the second.
And I feel like something that also needs to be mentioned
Yes.
is that, what's the name of that band?
The Gaslight.
Gaslight Anthem.
Gaslight Anthem. So who plays like the goal song was there.
Mhm.
Their stage was set up kind of in front of where we were.
Yeah.
And every time they scored, they had to play the goal song live.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But
yeah.
What's funny about this is like those men were just straight up in jeans.
They were.
Yes,
And they did not have like gloves on because they needed to be able to play their instruments.
And they were not expecting to have to play it that soon into the game, so they had to like scramble to get everything ready to go.
Yes. Oh my God. You could just see them shivering there.
Yeah.
And then the goal happens and they go scrambling across to
Yep.
grab their instruments and they're freezing and shivering. They crushed it. It was really fun.
It was really cool to have that live. It was such a good idea.
Yeah.
So top of the second, the redacted team name scored. And I believe this is because Allie didn't return to her seat at the beginning of the second period. So you want to tell us where you were?
I was having an existential crisis. See, the thing is, I had been there for many hours at this point. The game didn't start till like after 8 o'clock. We
Yeah.
had gotten there at like 3 p.m. So I needed a moment to take like my hot girl walk, get a little existential.
Okay.
So one, it was too cold. So I was in one of those like warm lounges.
Yeah.
And then the second period started and I was like, I'll just like give it 5 minutes and then I can go back out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did go back outside. And then I was like,
I didn't know this.
This is really empty. And then I was like, I'm going to wander. So then I'm wandering around the hallways of MetLife Stadium for a while. I'm checking out the merch stand. I'm looking at the $1,000 coach's jacket. There's like this part of MetLife.
so expensive.
Yeah. There's this part of MetLife Stadium where they have just like TVs and couches set up,
Oh.
but the TVs aren't playing the game. They're just playing like reality TV. That was weird.
Huh.
I was going on a little journey.
Yeah.
There was like this little elevator waiting room I popped my head into where like it was a quiet room. They had TVs in there and you could just stand in there outside the elevator as if you're waiting for the elevator, but you never get on the elevator. You just stand there watching the game on the TV, but you don't say anything.
Huh.
A little spooky.
Weird.
And so then I was like, wow, I've been outside for a while. I'm cold again. So I went back down to the lounge. But first, I was eating my way through MetLife Stadium. Things I ate in MetLife Stadium.
Yes.
The vegetable dumplings, which are only $5.
Wow.
Delicious with the chili, like the sweet chili Thai sauce. Very good. Then I also had some tater tots.
Those things revived me with that cheese sauce. Ugh. I needed it.
Those were good. I had some cookies and hot chocolate, and I dunked my cookies in my hot chocolate.
Smart.
Then I had some cheese fries.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Was this all during that break?
No.
Oh,
This is over the course of the game.
Yeah.
In my defense, that was the only food I ate that day.
Oh my gosh.
And then as I was eating the cheese fries, it was surprisingly a spicy cheese sauce. And then I spilled it all over my white jacket.
No.
And then I was like, oh, and I went back inside to the club lounge. And I was like, it's really nice and warm in here. And I'm covered in orange. And I'm standing with a crew of Flyers fans who are also covered in orange, but for a different reason. And I'm like, I can't go back out there.
Yeah.
Not yet.
There's like these glass windows overlooking the field.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like standing on a table and I'm like leaning against the table. It's like
On the table?
No, I'm not standing on the table. Sorry. I'm standing next to the table. And I'm leaning on the table with my
Oh.
hands on the table. And
Okay.
like in the movies when like the main character's like looking into the mirror trying to like pump themselves up. That's
Mhm.
literally me, like
Yeah.
leaning against this table, looking into the glass, looking out over the field. I'm like, you can go outside. Look at the Devil's bench. They're shivering. You can go outside and watch them. They can go outside and play. And I'm like, you can go outside and watch. I'm like looking at myself in the reflection. I'm like, go outside, go outside, go outside. And then the Flyers just keep scoring and they keep scoring and they keep scoring. And I'm like,
Yeah, you got to come back outside.
I can't do it. I can't do it. And then I was about to go outside.
Uh-huh.
And do you know what happened?
Yeah, I know what happened.
A woman comes up to me
Mm-hmm.
with like a baggie
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, do you want to go see the Jonas Brothers? And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I got nothing else going on.
Oh my
And they put this wristband on me and then they're like, walk out the field, follow the Sims. And me and some people are just walking out in the field. And there's the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, while Allie was on her adventure, the redacted team name scored. And there was a couple good scuffles in the second as well, but I'm going to circle back to this later. But there was this slashing call on Brendan Smith that I just needed to mention very quickly.
He did the slashing or was slashed?
He was slashed in the calf by one of the Flyers players.
Huh.
They played this in slow-mo on the Jumbotron. And my gosh, when they played it in slow-mo, it looked like some WWE nonsense for like a hot moment because he slashed Brendan Smith on the calf. But Brendan Smith waited to drag his leg up and regain balance and then scream. So it just like, it felt like an actor moment, but I'm like, no, Brendan Smith was holding it together so he didn't fall down as he was screaming.
Oh my gosh.
He could have broke his leg. Like it was so brutal. But Brendan Smith had a new flavor. Gave us a new flavor of revenge goal. And scored! In retaliation for this. This is awesome.
Love this. Brendan Smith goal is a Nico goal, the Jonas Brothers, a Brendan Smith goal, and gritty streaking.
Yeah. What more could we have wanted?
Everything. This game, the script was written for Hot Girls Hockey.
It was,
I know.
honestly.
They wrote this with us in mind.
Yeah.
And at the end of the second, Nate Bastion scored, making it 1-4.
Hell yeah.
Redacted team name scored, but whatever. I just real quick. Sarah and I have talked about this before, but and the reason why redacted team name scored was because we were on a power kill, and I think the Devils' power kill horns. It's just sad.
Kill. And no one's ever on like the same beat.
No.
So instead you hear kill. Like echo. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's very uninspiring.
A little.
What are your other ideas? What do you recommend? Slay.
I'm playing Sandstorm.
Slay.
I like Slay better.
What other options do we have? I don't know. Just play like
Do you like the old
classic horror movie music or something, you know, like the screeching from Psycho or something.
And on the top of that, do the classic cheerleading. Be aggressive.
Yes.
B-E aggressive.
I love that.
BEAGGRESSIVE.
Yeah, there was no way I was going to be able to spell that. That was for sure.
That's fair. That's fair.
So we stayed aggressive though after this because Nico put himself on hat trick watch. Scored again.
Whoa.
Pretending that the redacted team didn't score. Whatever. So at this point in the game, it's 5-3 in the middle of the third, feeling really comfortable. And Nate Bastion just finished it on an empty net for us. So we got Sarah's favorite goal score.
Yes, I predicted this. The script told me it was going to be a 6-3.
6-3 win.
And it
win. Oh my gosh. And then you know what really just like wrapped this night in a neat little bow?
What?
The game ends with an interview with Nico Hischier. He looks directly in the camera and goes,
Yeah, I did.
That's fucking awesome.
He said, that was fucking awesome. I'm sorry.
He said, that's correct. That was fucking awesome. I'm sorry. Hand over mouth. When I tell you, the stadium roared.
Hilarious.
We were like walking down because we were like stuck in that traffic to get out of the seats. And
I remember I turned to you guys and I was like, did Nico just say
Did he
fuck?
say that?
And you guys were like, no. I was like, I think he did.
yeah, he did.
I love it. 10 out of 10.
It was a wonderful experience.
Incredible night.
This whole day.
Everything was so
great.
fun. Also, if you're listening to this podcast and we got to meet you today.
That day. Yeah.
That day.
That day.
That was super awesome.
It was. It was so fun.
It was so nice to meet everyone.
Yeah. I hope
And
we
make
get
lots
to
of
do it again.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one final thought.
Okay.
We had to leave, or Sarah had to leave a 1-star review.
I forgot.
What?
I did.
How do I not know about this
So
already?
we almost got murdered by like a party bus driving
Yeah.
out of the parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like genuinely almost got run over.
Wow.
And I was driving my car and they almost hit me.
Yeah.
And I was so mad. I was screaming at them. I'm going to call your boss and leave a review.
Yeah.
Actually, I wasn't screaming because I don't really scream.
That's fair.
But
I took it
Thinking it.
seriously.
and so Sarah found their
I did.
Yelp.
Because they had their name listed on the back of the truck, obviously. I found them on Google Maps and I gave them a bad review.
That's incredible.
And that really made me think that like MetLife is not ready for the World Cup.
No,
No.
it's going to be bad.
I will not be here.
No.
I will be
We have to
hunkering
move.
down in a different part of Jersey.
Yeah.
I will not.
I don't even think I'm going to leave the state.
honestly.
let's plan our next vacation
There we
during the
go.
World Series.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
World
Okay.
Series.
Sorry, during the World Cup.
Yep.
Producer is going to kill me because he wants me to go to a game with him.
Oh, no.
And I said, I don't know. We might actually die.
Yeah.
You just called the World Cup the World Series.
Yes.
I think he'll rescind that offer.
You know, he might. Coming off this really, really fun day, a great win and everything, it kind of like it gets you in like a good spirit. Like you think like, oh, maybe the Devils are like finally like on the upswing
Yes.
for once. Like this is going to be our turning point.
Yes.
Until we played the Capitals
I knew.
a couple days later.
I knew.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we need an analysis by vibes of this.
Okay.
The vibes are off with the Capitals and Devils.
That's true.
It doesn't matter how well the Devils are doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they're rested. It doesn't matter if they're on the top of their game. Something about the Capitals
Mm-hmm.
Stumps
Just-
them.
stumps them. It foils
Yeah.
them. I think this is further, like American prejudice against the state of New Jersey. Like this is the capital of the country.
Honestly,
keeping
that's
us
a
down.
good point. You
No?
know, I never thought about that.
There's a lot of New Jersey slander out
There
there in the
is.
country.
Yeah.
And, I think for me, this is part of it.
Of course, yeah. The team from the capital is the one that's
It's kind
doing
of
this
Hunger
to us.
Games-esque.
yeah.
You
I
know?
don't like that. Even though the Capitals, they do stump them every single time. I was still going in cautiously optimistic
Mm.
for
Yeah.
some reason. And what did they do? Immediately give up the first point to Washington. 40 seconds into this game, I was out of the room because, of course, I was.
I hadn't even sat down.
Yeah.
I literally had the remote in my hand. I was like doing that. I was like squatting over the couch. I
Yeah.
was about to sit and they scored. I'm like, fucking.
It's okay. It's usually okay.
Right.
It's just getting a little old. It's
It
like
is.
at 80% or something.
We've said this so many times on this show. This keeps happening. Like, when are we ever going to see any improvement
and
in
I
this?
feel like if we are getting mentally fatigued of hearing this, I can't imagine how it must
Yeah.
be to be on the Devil's bench
yeah.
and be like, "Ugh, again, guys,
Like, come on.
Yeah.
no matter how confident you are, it's a little demoralizing.
I'm sure it must be, honestly.
yeah.
They didn't immediately, let that get to them, though. Holtz did score.
Woo.
Not too long after that.
And then was benched immediately.
And then, of course, was benched immediately.
Why?
'Cause
I'm
then
not
he
even.
rough-
I don't even have time to get into why.
Hates him for some reason.
He did actually. This time we are slandering Lindy Ruff a little.
Okay.
And we can slander him all we want.
Yeah.
But to be fair, because of this goal, he actually did get some third line time with Lazar and Meyer. He replaced Mercer on the third line. So he got a little prize.
Wow.
They put him up there.
Wow.
It's like
Out of the fourth line for
yeah,
once.
He got bumped up to
Wow.
spot one.
How nice.
Aye. Something else to note is that this was Nico Daw's 5th straight game starting.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
After saving 45 shots on goal during the Stadium Series game outside
Oh my
in the
gosh.
freezing cold.
Yeah.
So he had, what was it, a day off? No, 2 days off. I think they had 2 days off.
I don't remember, to be honest.
Okay.
And then was right back in there.
But still, he played, he's the only one out there who's playing the entire 60-minute timer.
Yeah, that's hard.
The things that I do want to talk about this game, though, something I noticed in this is that the Devils are not scoring in the way that they used to anymore.
Yes.
And I know that we have been saying throughout this whole season, there's a problem with goaltending. There's a problem with the defense, whatever. And I know that those issues are not solved, obviously.
Mhm.
But when I wrote this note down in here, we were sitting at one goal.
Yeah.
And I know in the game prior to that, they scored 6 times, but consistently, they're not scoring nearly as much as they have on average. And I was just,
They went from being a team that was never shut out to being on the brink of shutting out almost every other game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is also something I wanted to mention, not just this game, but all the previous games. We have been double the amount of the other team's shots on goal.
Yes.
And it's been driving me bonkers. I'm like, can we just not aim?
Right.
Or is their goalie so good? Like,
So I think part of the problem is special teams, because a big, big producer for points before where it was the power play, and they're taking a lot of shots on goal, but not many of them are coming during the power play.
right.
They're coming on regular, 5-on-5 hockey. And when they're on the power play with the man advantage, they don't seem to be able to capitalize, but they also just don't even seem to be able to keep the puck in the offensive zone. They lose control of it and spend a lot of time just having to chase after it, having to set back up. And before they can even try to get a good lane to shoot, it gets intercepted, it gets turned over, it gets back out in the neutral zone. It's
That's something I noted in the Rangers game too, which we can talk about later. But I wrote down so that they were struggling to get possession of the puck. In the times that they did, they were not able to complete any of the plays whatsoever.
even just passes.
Right. Things were just getting so out of hand. I don't know.
know if it's anxiety or if it's like desperation.
I don't know.
You get kind of sloppy, but it's just not connecting.
Yeah.
something's happening.
And I just, like at that point, what is the reasoning? Like none of your pieces of your puzzle are fitting anymore.
So in regards to the Caps, I mean, for the first two periods, I felt like they were in it. I felt like they were trying. Lindgren was really just goalieing them. And then they got frustrated. And they did what they tend to do, and they got frustrated. They fell apart.
Yep.
McMichael was really on fire for the Capitals, especially his second goal in period 2, where he just out-hustled Nemitz. So that was it wasn't anyone made a silly mistake. It wasn't a particularly stellar play necessarily. He just out-hustled Nemitz. And then Dawes was setting up. He was setting up for he was anticipating a different shot. And McMichael was just able to sneak the puck right in behind him. And this, it just led to a third period where you could tell that they were frustrated. They kind of fell apart and ended up with a 6-2 loss, not a 6-3 loss.
Was it?
It was a 6-2
Oh,
loss.
yeah, that's right.
6-2.
Because I wrote, don't worry, guys, there's still time for a 6-3 loss. And then right after that, the Capitals scored again, which made it 6. And I wrote, shut the fuck up. I was kidding about the score. Don't do this.
Oh my gosh. It's like whiplash. How do you maybe send the team back outside? They did better.
Maybe?
Out there.
Yeah. I don't know.
We just thrive in the cold.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Maybe it was all the pomp and circumstance. They needed
Maybe.
needed that to
They need
thrive
to
off
be
of that.
supported in that kind of way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just
They're like
saying.
little babies. They need a little help flying out of the nest.
Maybe.
I was going to say they need more cheering from everybody.
That's possible.
Even when they're down.
AWE.
Like that's when I need it the most. When I'm down is when I need the cheering.
Yeah.
I don't need booze. I don't need I'm leaving, I'm going in the car. I don't need any of that.
Yeah. I need a cheerleader.
I need let's go.
We do need cheerleaders.
AWESOME. Awesome, awesome, awesome are we?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I obviously didn't do that with you guys growing up.
Oh my gosh. Petition to hire us as the cheerleaders. Some teams have cheerleaders.
Do they?
I guess.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Last thing I wanted to ask you guys, Alex Ovechkin is getting a little close to beating Wayne Gretzky's record at the moment. Do you guys think it's going to happen?
No.
Neither do I.
No.
Okay.
He did. We conveniently avoided saying his name when we're talking about the Capitals game. I think that if Ovi gets within one goal of the record, a bolt of lightning is going to strike him down.
This is what I'm saying. They're not going to ever allow this to happen.
I don't think so.
No.
Of all people, I have strong opinions about Ovechkin.
Yeah.
And I have fond opinions about Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky. I can't imagine. For two reasons. They're never going to let anyone beat that. It's just bad for business.
Yeah.
And 2, he's just at this rate, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
With the amount of time that he has left on his contract,
He's
it's not
gonna-
happening.
I don't wish this upon anyone, but like at his
Interesting.
age, he's going to break a hip before that happens.
Honestly, yeah.
So, this is another game I didn't get the chance to watch, but something we forgot to talk about in the last game that I just want to say real quick as my only contribution to the rest of these games is Siegenthaler's back.
Yes, we did gloss over that.
We sure did. We are really good at glossing over that, aren't we?
I had a note and I said
Did
to
you?
myself, don't gloss over this. And
Oh, yep, you did.
then,
Super excited
Let's
that
just
he is back. So
let's just rewind. Have you stick that right in the front of the
okay.
Capitals game. We'll pretend like it never happened.
the
Got
red
it.
carpet report is going to be really shaken up by the return of Jonas Siegenthaler.
That's true.
Do you think he's a Jonas or a Jonas?
Oh,
They
I
always
don't
call
know.
him Jonas in the official pronunciation, but do you think he's actually like a Jonas?
I don't know how
Same
they
thing with
say
Jesper
it.
Bratt. Like, do you think he's actually Jesper?
I don't know. That
I would just have to ask them.
You know,
I
how,
f-
like some people pronounce their names 2 different ways depending
that's
on who
true.
they're talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Shannon-
Siegenthaler's back.
So Shannon didn't get to watch this game. However,
No.
I made the interesting decision to pay maybe too much money for tickets to the Devils Rangers game so that I could go with my dad, who is a Rangers fan,
That's a great decision.
which, you know,
Besides the game score.
yeah.
That picture you sent us, your dad looked so happy to
He
be
was
there.
very happy to be there.
Aw.
And you know, I'm glad that he got to have a good old time. I'm glad that he got to have fun.
Rangers dad, Devil's daughter.
Mhm. I think it's really funny that every Rangers fan has a Devils fan to
Yeah.
annoy them. Not the other way around, but only that one way.
Yep. It is a one-way door.
First thing of note in this game was pretty early on. Bastian took a pretty hard hit to the head, shoulder to the head.
It was nasty.
It was a little nasty. And there was a whole bunch of the
By rookie Rempe. Repong.
I think it's Rempe.
I
think
just
it's Rempe.
wrote 73, so sure.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of other penalties that happened in the midst of this that ended up getting, canceled out and everything. And he started pummeling Siegenthaler in the head.
Right, because Siegs went to defend Bastion for that nasty hit.
Yeah. And it ended up in major penalty immediately.
There were roughing penalties on both sides
Yeah.
and a match penalty for Rempe. They just kicked him right out of
Yep. Was waving bye as he left.
there.
Bye.
And, as we said in the last game, it's par for the course. At this point, Rangers scored first on the penalty kill, unfortunately.
This game, like every rivalry game, is tense for the Devils.
Mhm.
And I think this is one of those opportunities where you always, you mentioned like that hit on Bastion. This is one of those opportunities where you get to see how the Devils hold up under aggressive pressure, because it doesn't matter how the game is going. It doesn't matter if the Rangers are solidly winning. They're always going to be really physical against the Devils.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
It's just that like rivalry vibe. I can't say that word, by the way. Rivalry. It's
There
like
you go.
really hard to say.
Rivalry.
Rivalry.
Yeah.
Rivalry.
I got this one. Rivalry.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
So during this rivalry game,
And
sorry.
what was I saying?
No, but you're right,
So-
though. It was very physical, like
Yes.
right off the bat, like
Yes.
with that hit on Bastion. And just like Devils players were getting like smacked in the boards
Yeah.
left and right.
And
they were
it's-
just flying all over the place.
And it's good to see
Pummeled.
someone like Siegenthaler try to stand up for Bastion. But overall, I just didn't really feel like they were fighting back that hard. It seems like they were trying to just kind of ignore and power through.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But really, it just resulted in them kind of getting pushed around a little bit. Like Brendan Smith, my boy, Brendan Smith, when you're on defense, you're here to enforce a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen him do it before. And I don't like a lot, like Kevin Ball also is a giant.
Yeah.
And some of them I'm just surprised by like the reticence to use a little bit more of that physicality.
Yeah. Roman was saying that the thing that he thinks that the Devils need, not to fix everything, but just to have, is they need a goon.
Yeah.
Why not?
Brendan Smith.
It could be him.
He'd be so happy while he did it.
He might.
He looks so friendly.
A little sideways
Little
thumb.
sideways thumb.
Yeah.
He's just too nice at heart. To like
Uh,
that's
Those are the best ones though. The
Yeah.
happy goons.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I complained when we were talking about the previous game about the power play not producing. And this game is really where you saw that as a problem. They had so many power. Speaking of how physical this game was, it led to a lot of penalties, which led to a lot of power plays and power kills. They, after that hit on Bastion, they had a 5-minute power play that just didn't produce. There were only 5 shots on goal. It was really poor control of the puck. They never, like I was saying before, they never really settled into the offensive zone. The Rangers pretty easily forced them back out into the neutral zone or all the way back to the opposite side of the ice, forcing them to have to reset. And sometimes the power play is one of those things that I think is hard to criticize because sometimes you can give all of your effort on it and the puck just doesn't go in. But that was not what this was.
Yeah.
They couldn't even keep the puck in their zone long enough to put up a fight for a goal.
Yep.
It was really, they were really just being outrun by the Rangers. And when the Rangers took that first goal, it was after the Devils won the faceoff. It was immediately after the Devils win the faceoff, turned the puck straight over to the Rangers in such a way that Dawes couldn't possibly have set up to block this.
Yeah.
Because he's setting up, anticipating that the Devils are going to
They have a play that's supposed to happen.
play their play.
Yeah.
And it was so quick and easy for the Rangers to capitalize on that turnover.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Like when you have these aggressive, experienced teams, they're going to do that. You give them, even if you win the faceoff, you give them an opportunity.
They're taking it.
They're taking it. I felt bad for Dawes this game.
Yeah. I thought, if anything, they were going to bring Schmid back up for this. I'm honestly kind of surprised that they didn't.
Options were limited.
Yeah.
Options were very limited, but I thought last minute that's what they would do.
I would have, just to piss the Rangers off.
Yeah.
Right. And Dawes needs a break.
He needs a break.
Absolutely.
This was his 6th straight game starting.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And bear in mind, until a couple weeks ago, he was not playing in the NHL.
He is still a rookie.
Like,
And he's been doing
I think he's been doing well.
Yes.
Decent. Given what has been handed to him. And I think this is what happens. I think people complain a lot about Devils goaltending issue, but I also feel like we're not setting these goalies up to succeed.
Right.
I feel like this is what happened last year. Vanacek came in, did pretty well. And then kind of, as the season wore on, got more tired, kind of progressively got worse, and then really fell apart in that Rangers series. Schmid came in, saved the day, was super strong until he was ridden too hard.
Yep.
Burned out, kind of collapsed a little bit. So then you have Dawes come in, also comes in really strong. So then you just put him out there and you put him out there and you're going to burn him out. And then I get frustrated because you can see these goalies getting frustrated with themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like they're in a system that's like wringing them out like a towel.
Yeah. The puzzle pieces are not fitting together. And then we're all blaming it on just one puzzle piece.
Maybe it's the person putting the pieces together
Exactly.
to blame.
Exactly.
Metaphors.
Yes.
What else do you got?
Some other things. My dad at one point made mention of, there was a great play by the Rangers. It was unfortunate they scored, but it was great. My dad called it sexy passing because he's listened to all these episodes.
Some sexy passing.
He also noted the Devils not able to get their sloppy shots. They have to have the perfect shot. They just park and pass, and then it gets taken away from them because they don't know how to just shoot. You and I ended up on the Jumbotron by accident, Allie.
Yeah.
They posted a photo of us from the Stadium Series game during the Prupix stunt.
Yeah.
For some reason.
It was a photo of us with Annika.
Yes, it was.
So shout out to Annika.
Yeah. I don't know how it ended up there. I didn't submit it, but
I don't either.
yeah.
We have now achieved my goal of being on the Jumbotron.
No, we did.
I mean, technically we were on the Jumbotron once before.
You're right.
But I want to be on the Jumbotron when I'm actually there.
Yeah.
So
Live.
Prudential Center. Once again.
You better blow a fucking kiss to the camera. I'll lose my shit if you don't. You said you were going to do it. That's what I'm anticipating. We can get into this later, but I wanted, if the Jumbotron ever captures the three of us together, I want to do some coordinated thing.
Okay.
We have to do a coordinated thing to get us on it.
One thing my ultimate.
I mean like a K-pop move, like dance move together.
YMCA. She said K-pop and then did the YMCA.
That's
so
fine.
That was not.
That was not what I was doing.
It
but
looks
okay.
like it.
My final comment on this game, what this really proved to me is that even if this Devils team somehow manages to eke out a playoff position, they are not playoff ready.
No.
Not
No.
to single out Luke Hughes because, I'm a fan and I really like him, but he's also a rookie and you can tell that he's not quite ready for this type of play yet.
Right.
Which, how could he be?
Yeah.
This is
You can't
a year
expect-
of experience, of learning.
Right.
But, there was this one moment where Panarin dropped his shoulder, really easily drew a penalty off of Luke. And you could tell that Luke was frustrated about that. And it's like, yeah, but that's like more experienced players are going to do. They're going to play little sneaky things like that to give themselves the advantage. And I that's why I think like even if they do make it to the playoffs this year, I think it's just going to has to be a learning year more than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
To get them ready for next time.
At this point, it's kind of looking like it will be, but I don't know. Maybe if the puzzle maker can change. I don't know.
I had this really fun line that I wrote when I was delusional that I thought was really
let's hear it.
Really quippy. It says special teams aren't cooking, maybe because we sent the chef to the Predators.
Ooh, that's good.
Andrew Brunette, come back. Baby, come back.
Last thing that I wanted to say about this game is just a quote from my dad after the end as we were walking out, and he went, "Well, that was fun. At least for me."
I'm excited for the day we get the chance to have your dad on.
I know. Yeah.
That'll be so fun.
Me too.
Do we have to talk about the next game? There's only one note written in our script, and I really feel like this is the only note that matters.
The crossbar deserves a contract. It's genuinely overdue at this point in the season.
It is.
The Devils beat the Canadiens 4-3. I really think this is a credit to the crossbar. We
put up an effort.
Too much of an effort.
Yes.
This is not a game. I don't subscribe to the theory that there are teams that are easy to beat because it's just the team that's in front of you and you never know.
Right.
But the way Montreal was playing during this game, you would not have expected a team like the Devils to have to work so hard for the win.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to work hard and they looked exhausted and they had to fight for this win, which they did, and they got it. We got a Nico goal. We got a Timo goal. We got a Jesper Bratt goal. We got an Andre Palat goal. The gang's all here. It was great times. But they almost stumbled their way into that victory and almost handed it off multiple times.
Yeah. Right at the end when the Canadians pulled their goalie and they actually scored.
Yeah.
I was terrified.
Nick Suzuki scored too.
I was terrified.
To add insult, to rub salt in that wound. So, this does not give me, they're going to be exhausted going into the Lightning game.
Absolutely. Let's get into the Skrkuffle Award.
Yes.
Because this is where we give Academy Awards to the most cinematic fights of the week. I got 3 mentions here, which I'm excited about because I feel like I hadn't had a lot recently, but we played the Flyers and the Rangers. So if we didn't walk away with any scuffles, something's wrong with the balance of the universe.
Yeah.
There was a fun moment where Colin Miller put a Flyer player in a headlock, and this was in retaliation for the slash on Brendan Smith. It was like the next play.
That's
I was
fun.
like, yeah, it was good. Good scuffle. Obviously not surprised during the Rangers game. There was so much tension, so much aggression, but we talked about it already, but it was the scuffle that resulted. It was like this domino effect. It started with the hit on Nate Bastian. That was super nasty, top of the game, where the Rangers player it was his shoulder, Rempe, into Bastian's head. Brutal, bloody nose. Bastian tried to get up and then he decided, no, I am sitting down, and took his helmet off, which I'm glad he didn't try to force himself off the ice. And he just went down the tunnel. He was in bad shape. And Siegenthaler tried to punch Rempe back in retaliation, but it was just really sad because he just pummeled Siegenthaler after he clearly was like, no more, brah.
Yeah.
And just wouldn't let up. And I'm like, dude, this is like not cool. You can't get away with this shit. And he didn't. Many penalties after. But what was crazy was Nate Bastian came back from the tunnel and played in the second.
I have so many thoughts on this that I just didn't have time to get into because this episode is so long.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised. We were surprised. And he got hit bad by Trouba. Technically a clean hit. It was shoulder to shoulder, but I'm sorry, that was uncalled for, because I think there's a difference when like you do a clean hit on a player, you're close to the boards, you hit them, but you're both standing at the end of the hit. Trouba threw himself full speed into Nate Bastian, so both of them flew. Like, Trouba was also on the floor after, and I'm like, dude, like, you can't do that shit. And so Bastian chased him down the ice, just didn't even finish the play. And I would say this didn't feel like, you know, sometimes the players will go at a fight and you feel like it's kind of for the fans and they're both smirking afterwards.
Mhm.
This was just pure raw emotion. And Bastian just went after him, grabbed his collar, attempts to put him in a headlock, but Trouba got him, slammed him into the board, and they both went down to the ice. It was funny. The refs were even on the ice trying to separate them, and they couldn't. It was just sad all around. And Bastian had a bloody nose again when he walked away. Dude, really, in this whole thing, I wanted to give a Skirkuffle award to Connor. Sorry. To Colin Miller for just putting a Flyer fan in a headlock.
Hell
A
yeah.
Flyers fan?
Sorry.
Oh, wow. I didn't even register that as wrong.
I'm going to give my Scuffle award to Colin Miller for just putting a Flyers player in a headlock this week.
I have a guest nomination.
Okay.
I think this is Skirkuffle Award of the Year.
Yeah,
Whoa.
this is the one that, did I mention this to you guys earlier?
I don't know.
This was happening earlier today.
Oh, no.
I heard.
I don't know.
You said it. You said it.
I watched it later. It's brutal.
Rangers played the Flyers today.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Shannon, please turn your attention to the screen.
I'm turning.
I know we said we would never give credit to the Flyers for anything, but Deslauriers kind of got revenge on
got
Rempe
him good.
for us.
Look at the
Yeah,
bruising
he
that this
did.
guy walked away with.
Oh my gosh.
Gnarly.
I've just never seen two guys successfully getting so many successive hits.
They like actually hit each other. Normally they just
They
kind of
just-
dance.
Right, because they can't, because they're just spinning on the ice together, so they get no momentum. But
Yeah.
that is brutal.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit of revenge on Rempe for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Philadelphia, for this moment and this moment only,
Good for you.
you rock.
Okay, Allie.
Yeah.
What are the whispers on the Twitter wins this week?
Okay.
God.
So when we initially conceived of this podcast,
Mhm.
we wanted it to be fun and silly and happy, but we also still want to keep a certain degree of professionalism. So, you know, we try not to get like into too much into like gossip on this
Okay.
podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't get too much into like speculation or like talk about the players' personal lives
Right.
unless it's like something they like freely offer in an interview.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's, you know, we want to treat people like people. But some weird shit happened,
Yep.
and I have to talk about this.
Yep.
One word. Pia.
Okay.
What the hell? How do we even... Okay, so if you're listening to the podcast, I'm sure you already know what this is.
Oh, yes.
Shannon doesn't really have social media, so she couldn't really follow this, although someone did upload the full thing to YouTube. I can send you the link if you want.
Perfect. Please do. I only got the first part so
So
far.
someone compiled it into a YouTube video. I'll send it to you. But there was a TikToker who released a series of videos this week. Very long videos, by the way.
They were.
I know
Hmm.
I'm a talker, but
These were long.
these were long.
A lot of
Um,
information.
Yeah. I mean, and that's because there was a lot
There
of
was.
information to be had. So basically, it's this girl who lives in New York City, who befriended someone who like also worked at the gym she worked at, and this friend Pia spent like what sounds like almost a full year
Yeah.
pretending to be dating Jack Hughes.
That's so much effort.
And
A
this friend believed Pia because she just didn't know shit about the NHL. And she was like, yeah, I guess maybe that's
Right.
what Jack Hughes does.
Because why would you lie about that?
Right.
Oh my gosh.
My favorite parts of this story is how it actually starts out with Pia dating John Marino.
That's true. Yeah. And then immediately forgetting him.
Yes.
He doesn't come up in the story ever
Yeah,
again.
because Pia's friend is dating Jack Hughes.
Right.
And then Pia and this imaginary version of Jack Hughes hook up.
Right.
And Pia's friend is like, yeah, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
But does John Marino care? What about John Marino?
Who knows? He's not involved in the story at all after that.
He just gets lost from the plot.
He does.
And all this
my
time we're
gosh.
focusing on Pio.
Pio.
We're focusing on we're focusing on Jack Hughes. I'm wondering what's going on with John Marino.
Right. Yeah.
You think
How
in
does he
this
feel?
story, Pia would have built up tension between John Marino and Jack Hughes fighting over
But
her.
the problem is that didn't exist in real life, so she couldn't do that. It's wild.
Oh my
She
gosh.
literally created, obviously she photoshopped photos, for her own Instagram.
I want to see those
Me too.
so badly.
She like cropped photos that like he or his brothers were posting publicly or that they had posted publicly of like them with hanging out with their family or friends or whatever. She would like screenshot them from the legit Instagrams or like Snap or whatever, and then would repost them on her Finstas. But it wasn't just her Finsta. She created Finstas for Jack Hughes, John Marino, Luke Hughes, Trevor Zegras,
Yeah.
Cole Caulfield, I think. Like,
And like other people who were not even in the NHL, just like friends of theirs, I think.
yeah, just like real life people.
Yeah.
As if people in the NHL aren't
They're
real
not
life
real.
people. They're not real life
but
people.
like, even though you saw Timo, they're not real.
But yeah, so she created multiple Finstas so that they could interact with her Instagram and pretend to be like Jack Hughes' friends commenting on her pictures.
And they would interact with other people as well. Like it wasn't just to boost her own social media. She was texting other friends of hers pretending to be Trevor Zegras and stuff.
That you guys just like blew my mind. First, I know I already said that's so much effort, but I mean like that's like having a job.
Yeah.
Literally a job.
And you need to keep up on all of
And
the
it's
lies
expensive.
and bullshit.
because
Like,
she's going to games.
Yeah.
oh my god.
And she's bringing this friend to games and saying that these tickets are being paid for by Jack Hughes. Never mind the fact that she's like not sitting in like a family and friends like box or row or something. She's just like sitting in like, but she's buying
Like
good tickets because like if your boyfriend's on the team, presumably you're going to have good
you would
seats.
hope.
So she's
Right.
buying these like second, third row ice side tickets
Yeah.
and telling her friends that Jack Hughes is paying for them.
That's
She's
insane.
telling people that she's going out of town on trips to like the All-Star game or
That she's hanging out with all of the other wives and girlfriends.
or she's going to home to like Michigan or
Yeah.
something, which I don't even know. I don't even think know if their home is in Michigan. I have no idea. I don't know.
any-
I don't know anything about the Hughes.
I almost said the exact same thing. That was wild.
Our brains synced up.
Yes, they did.
She's like, oh, I'm going home with him for his family for Christmas, wherever it is that they live.
Whoa.
And what I want to know
It's just extreme.
is she like going to away games? Like, is she actually traveling?
I don't know.
Or because here's the thing, because a lot of people are talking about like, oh, she's stalking Jack Hughes. I don't even know if she is.
I don't know. Was she following them around,
Because
or was
she-
it all lies?
There were videos of her like at home games, but like
Not at away games.
I don't know. I didn't go
I
that
don't know.
deep into it.
Oh, okay.
But my point is, she could just be very well screenshotting things
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and not even have to leave her apartment.
Yeah.
Right.
She would like show up to work with bags saying that she had to leave after her shift to catch a flight for Jack's away game. But like she could just be going home to her apartment
Yeah.
and taking screenshots from one of the other like
Yeah.
wives or girlfriends' Instagram and
Probably
posting it
more
on hers.
likely.
That's probably, more likely.
And you know how we found all of this out?
How?
The NHL posted that photo of Jack with some other girl on their like Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she had to like cautionary, like reactive, like, I think Jack's cheating on me to all of her friends who knew. And then they all found out like,
Yeah.
oh no,
Oh my.
And
this was all a lie
And
the
the
whole time.
story she created is that she was best friends with Jesper Bratt's girlfriend.
Yes.
And that Jesper Bratt's girlfriend was like, no. It's just like his cousin or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was
That
like trying to
is-
reassure her because the friend is like, well, why wouldn't your other, like the other girlfriends who you're friends with, like tell you that Jack is bringing this other girl to this event and not you? Because
Yep.
she was like still trying to act like she was his girlfriend.
like, I guess before they found out, like, even if she was able to convince that her circle of friends that believed this whole thing, like, what was the get out plan? Like, oh, he cheated on me, I broke up. Like, what was
back to
the
John
end
Marino,
game?
I
I
guess.
don't know.
That, yeah, go back to John Marino. That was the exit plan.
That was the exit plan. What's
Oh
especially
my
crazy
gosh.
is this is not the first nor the second person to do this
Yep.
with the Devil's Play. This is the third
Yep.
in
Why-
recent memory.
Why is it
Ooh.
always Devils players that people are fake dating? I don't. What's that about?
Because I guess when
I guess
it's a
they're young?
Stars player, you
I
get to
don't
just
know.
actually marry him.
That is fair.
Slander. But no, this also apparently happened to Nico and Taylor Hall back when he was on the team.
Wow.
So weird.
Yep.
Just don't do that.
Thanks for telling me about Pia. I had no idea.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
And you know what? I
Let's
think
not worry about that.
let's not worry about it anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I really don't want to think about it anymore. 'Cause we're just going to move on and don't worry about it.
Yep.
Because this is the segment where we don't worry about it. Because sometimes I'm saying random shit. And the announcers do it too. Okay, so I actually have a lot of things from the Stadium Series game. The first that I thought was hysterical was there was a little kid, I want to say 2 rows back. We're playing the Flyers,
Mm-hmm.
keep in mind. And he's shouting, Rangers suck. That was
He's
great.
got the spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was also another Devils fan later in the game screaming, do you know what a power play means? Score at the Devils players.
Oh my god.
Like they're sitting, like they're
they
sitting
can
on the
hear
bench,
you.
like, oh, a power play. That's
It does mean score.
Then we need to go. Yeah.
score. I forgot.
Yeah.
Thought that was hysterical. Loved. Okay, so I thought I missed the Jonas Brother concert, but it was great. They came back
had
during second
Two,
intermission.
and they played the same songs.
Oh, good to know. I didn't miss anything.
Nope, you didn't.
So I was alone in the stands at this point. Allie was on the field. Sarah was getting warm.
Yeah.
And everyone around me, man, woman, and child, stood up singing along to the lyrics of the Jonas Brothers.
yeah.
I was like, huh, they definitely nailed the artist choice for
Yeah,
this.
I think it was a fun choice.
I think they should have gotten My Chemical Romance.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But something I just loved was just a young girl screaming, I see them. Oh my God. And then a guttural fangirl scream. I was like, I love this.
I wish to be
this
that
is-
free.
Yeah.
Yes.
The passion.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
never had that. Like I
Mhm.
said, I'm not like a yeller. I wish I had that passion.
Then there was, I want to say it was like row back down the right, a few very drunk adults. It was a woman specifically went to the people in front of her. When you're of legal drinking age, you guys will have more fun.
Only of legal drinking age. If it's before legal drinking age,
You won't have fun.
You won't have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved the acting out of that,
That
too.
was really
that was
good.
so
Actually,
good.
I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that. That was very immersive.
It was.
It made me laugh.
Yeah.
Let's put it in there. This I heard 3 times, separate people, because it's true. I'm freezing my ass off.
One of those was me.
Yeah.
Mhm. I don't know how to pronounce the next one.
Zabanajad.
Zabanajad
There you go.
was leaking out.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Hate that.
What?
Hate it so much.
Game.
Oh.
It's disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
Sarah,
I do have one that I have to mention here. Because
Okay.
I've heard this now in 18 episodes of this show, guys.
Wait,
What?
what?
Have you guys not noticed that you both say power kill? It's penalty kill.
What?
You guys both say it
What?
in every episode.
Never noticed.
Yeah.
do we really?
You both say
Yeah,
power
because I
kill
just
instead of
typed
penalty
it
kill. Yeah.
earlier.
And I get it because like power play, right? And then you write PK, like, okay, yeah, power kill because it's power play. But
How have I never noticed that?
you both say it.
I actually am going to kill myself.
It's a penalty kill.
I'm going to kill myself.
So anyway, don't worry about it.
I know, I'm worried about it.
No, it's okay. It's
No,
totally fine.
You need to go back and edit out every time I said that this episode because I did it multiple times.
So did I. But like it's expected for me.
I'm gonna jump off a bridge.
It's okay. No.
Okay. Well,
Don't worry about
Cancel the podcast.
Don't
all right,
worry
we're
about
just
it.
not worried about it.
Don't worry about it.
And we're gonna move on.
Don't worry
into
about it.
It Boy of the Week.
Hell yeah.
The boy of the week.
Who's our It Boy?
I have a nomination.
All right.
Do you have a nomination, Sarah?
I think I got a nomination.
Okay.
I have a feeling that it's going to
Yeah,
be the
I'm throwing
same
shit.
nomination.
Really?
I think so.
I have a nomination, but I'm not
Who
gonna
should go first?
No, okay.
Let's all do it.
Okay.
No.
On the count of three.
On the count of three?
No.
We're going to do it again?
Yep. We're going to do it again. On the count
I'm
of
ready.
three. On the count of three.
Yep.
And we're saying full name, first name, last name.
Sure.
Okay. Ready? Ready? Shannon, pick a name. Any name. You got to go.
Pick a name.
Yeah,
Pick a
it's
name.
already in
Let's
my
do it.
head.
Okay, ready? 1.
3. Shit.
We can't even get the counting right.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Allie.
1, 2, 3.
Nico
Heischer.
Heischer. Yeah. It actually worked. Hell yeah. It has
That's
not worked.
never gonna happen again.
And we all agreed immediately
God.
too.
Ever.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
What are your guys' reasons for nominating Nico?
I just like him.
He's just had a really great week. I think we saw some good performances from him this week, you know?
He works very hard.
Yeah.
He's so committed.
Yeah.
And
And
that was fucking awesome.
That was fucking awesome. I'm
that was
sorry.
a part of the.
That was fucking amazing.
Oh.
I'm
He
I'm
said
sorry.
amazing.
For me, it was setting the tone during the stadium series
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just following through because there was no way we could have walked away from that game losing.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was a large part of that. So, any songs this week?
Happy birthday to you.
No, you
Happy
can't
birthday
sing it.
to you.
I don't want people to know my birthday is.
Shannon. Happy birthday to you.
Have fun editing that audio.
Yeah. Figure it out.
So mad. Well, this has been Hot Girls Hockey. Tune in next week for more sugar.
Spice.
And everything ice.
If you like our show, please leave us a rating and a review. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And tweet at us at hotgirlshockey_.